Don't
with it.
surprise me, because it sure look like it.
So Trump passed this because he said that even in the Treasury Department, people are being taught, don't encourage people to be colorblind, don't say things like judge people by their individuality, and people were being taught that white people should feel guilty about the country's past, right? So that's what prompted this, is that workplace trainings were doing this. So knowing that, what do you guys think of those ideas? I mean, people being taught,
I mean,
for
that's
instance,
my work. That's what I do for a living. So
Yeah.
I provide trainings.
Yeah.
And I talk about race in those trainings unapologetically with no problem. So with that, I'm not trying to make anybody feel guilty. And number one, I can't make you feel guilty. You own your own feelings. I can produce and share information. Then you choose how you want to respond to that. So I think it's necessary to have the cultural sensitivity trainings, is sometimes what they call them that way. A lot of people don't want to say they're doing the anti-racism training because it's so heated, but for those people who do want to have that direct anti-racism training, I provide those too, and we can really talk at and look at the history of race in the country and then how it shows up now today. And I think that that's healthy, that because these people all then show up in a workspace together. How do you show up in work with these types of things at play and not address them?
Well,
Just to point this out, I think there's very little evidence that these reduction of bias trainings actually do reduce bias. And I think the evidence is actually even lower when people are compelled to do it. Compelling people to take reduction of bias training, I'm not aware of any data that would support that would work. And just so that the audience maybe has an example of the kind of thing we're talking about, the American Bar Association is now requiring first-year law students to go through this kind of DEI reduction of bias training. And the University of Wisconsin Law School had a big scandal over this about 6 or 7 months ago because it gave a handout, and I have the quote here right from the handout, quote, "Racism equals racial prejudice plus systemic institutional power.